Hi there, it's Karen at Corrie Papercrafts here, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in central Scotland. Welcome back to another Simple Sundays project, and it's this one here. It's a little gift box with a cheeky little packet of tissues inside. The Cheeky Panda are my favourite tissues. They're made from bamboo. And I just really like them. So I'm going to show you how I made it. It doesn't take long at all, but I thought it was quite a nice gift for somebody that's maybe just feeling a little bit under the weather, that you can just gift them a little packet of tissues, but in a pretty box. So this was made using soft sea foam cardstock, and I printed my sentiment in soft sea foam, and I used the Garden Lane DSP, which I've used before but I've not used it for quite a while, and I thought that looked really quite pretty. But because these are more subtle colours, I decided this time I'll make them in slightly brighter colours. So what you'll need is a piece of cardstock which measures 6 3/4 inches by 5 1/16, or just over 5 inches, but about 5 1/16. And then you'll need 2 pieces of DSP for your front and back panels, and they both measure 3 7/8 inches by 15/16 of an inch, or no, that's not right at all, 1 15/16 of an inch, just short of 2 inches. It's not 15/16 at all. It's these panels here, which are 3 7/8 by 15/16 of an inch, or just short of an inch, because the side panel measures an inch, so you want your paper just slightly shorter or narrower. I've actually cut this wrong. It should be a little bit bigger than that, but I've cut these to the right size. So that, just to recap, 6 3/4 by 5 1/16, or just over 5 inches for your cardstock. 2 pieces of DSP which measure 3 7/8 inches by 1 15/16, or just short of 2 inches, and 2 pieces which measure 3 7/8 inches by 15/16 of an inch, or just short of 2 inches. So this was made completely on my trimmer, because of the odd sort of 16th inches, which there aren't too many of, but I had to make them that size just to fit the packet of tissues. So apologies for that, but if you count those as just over or just short of whatever the measurements might be. So on the long side, we're going to score this card at 2 1/16 of an inch, or just over 2 inches. Now on your trimmer, the light blade is your scoring blade, the dark blade is your cutting blade, so keep that well out of the way. So you're going to score first, as I say, at 2 1/16. Then you're going to score at 3 1/8, then at 5 3/16, 1 2 3, and then I need to extend the arm, 6 1/4, and the 6 1/4 mark is clearly marked in here between the main part of the trimmer and the extension arm, which is fabulous. It's slightly better than our previous trimmer, which was really hard to see in between here, but I don't know if you can see, 16 centimetres is clearly marked in here as well, which is great. So then you're going to turn it round to the short side. We can put this arm away again because we don't need it. So there we go. Turn it to the short side, and you're going to score at 1 1/16, or just over 1 inch. Doesn't have to be precise, it's just to allow room for the tissues to fit in comfortably. And I'm just going to adjust my chair, because our computer chair needs tightened up a bit, and it keeps going further and further down as I'm crafting, so I end up here and then I end up down here by the time I'm finished. So fold and burnish on all your score lines. I'm filming this just late afternoon, early evening, just as the sun's coming round to the front of our house. My craft room is at the front of our house, so the back, because we are north facing, it's the back of our house that gets the sun all day, but when it comes to evening time it comes round the front, which is lovely. So the light might change as I'm crafting, and I'm just doing this video quickly while my hubby is very kindly making tea. So he knows I'm filming, but if you hear him shouting, then that means he's forgotten that I'm crafting. So I'm just going to first of all cut off the narrow rectangle that was on this 1/2 inch piece at the end here and notch it slightly on either end, because this is a tab that's going to join my box together. And then I'm just going to cut up all of these score lines to meet that horizontal score line there, like so. And then just very slightly notch those tabs, which are going to go to the inside of the box, and the same again on this one. There we are. Okay, so when you've done all your folding and burnishing and trimming, that's what you should be left with. Okay, so before we do anything else, I'm going to add my DSP, and I'm going to start to use up my snail because it is retiring. We're getting something different in the new catalogue, which sounds very exciting. A replacement for snail and a replacement for fast fuse, for those of you that used fast fuse and remember it. I think I've still got a couple in a drawer somewhere. Fast Fuse and I weren't always friends, and then we just started to work together quite amicably when it retired last year. But we've got something very exciting coming to replace those, so I'm looking forward to that. So I'm just using my silicone mat so that if I go over the edge with my snail, then it's not going to stick to my grid paper. The thing about snail is if it does go on your grid paper, let's fold that over, it actually does rub off. I'll show you just in a second. Probably don't need that bit down the middle because it's a narrow strip anyway. I think it goes that way. I don't think, I'm just looking to see if I've got any consistency in my pattern, but I don't think I have, although I think that piece looks like it does fit, so I'm going to put that bit on this panel. Does anybody else do that? It doesn't really matter because they're not shown on the same part of the box, but I think that looks like it follows on from that piece, so I'm going to stick it down because it is, oh gosh, Karen, it's stuck to my fingers. Maybe I'd have been better just sticking to my liquid glue. I think that looks okay. I'll have to do now. So yeah, I'll show you just in a second. If you do get snail on your grid paper, all is not lost. Try and take that more to the edge, and any that's overlapping, just give it a little fold back on itself like you would with the double-sided tape, and then you can give it a rub if there's still any left once you've stuck it down. So I think that looks about even, I think. There we go. And just give it a rub at the edges, and any snail that's sticking out just rubs away quite the thing. And then this last piece here, actually that does follow on from that one as well. So there you go, all my panels match and they're kind of consecutive. There we are, that looks about right there. Yep, that's fine. Oh, I've got a bit of snail there. So if you do get a bit of snail on your grid paper, then don't worry, because you can actually rub it away. It just rubs off. It's quite forgiving. But then you end up with all these little bits of snail all over the place. So now for some tear and tape, which has ended up underneath the last project that I filmed, but I managed to find it. So I'm going to pop a bit along beside this crease here, and I'm now looking for my ruler as always to get my straight edge. And then when the box goes together, these side flaps are going to go inside the box. This is the back flap and this is the front flap. So I want to add a piece of tape just here to hold that flap down. Just pop an extra bit on there, but it doesn't really need it. And I'm going to pop an extra bit of tape just on these side flaps here, and I think when I made my last box these actually did overlap a little bit, so I'm just going to trim a tiny bit off of each of those, just like that. There we go. So all we need to do is now put the box together. So fold that little bit in and bring this side over and join it up here, and then I'm going to take backing off these side flaps and square it up back up again. I'm going to put the back flap in first just to keep my box neat and tidy, and then pop these two flaps in. And before I stick that front flap down, I just want to hold the box in shape, make sure those side bits are stuck down. And then last bit to go over is the front flap here. There we are. And just give that an extra press. There we go. And all that's left to do is pop my little packet of tissues in the box like that. But actually, what I did forget was, because it struggled to, do you see me struggling to get those out, it's just those little finger notches with my 1-inch punch. Now this is retiring as well, the 1/2-inch punch and the 1-inch punch are retiring. I'm a little bit sad about that, but I guess we've got lots of dies in the catalogue now. But if you're looking to get the 1/2-inch punch or the 1-inch punch, then, or circles, I would get those sooner rather than later. So I'm only going in about 1/4 of the way into the punch. I'm not wanting a big piece of that card removed, so again just making sure that I centre that and it's kind of equal on both sides, but I'm not going to worry too much if it's not perfect, because one's front and one's back, and then pop my tissues in now, and that makes it much easier to pull the packet of tissues rather. So all that's left to do is to add my sentiment, which I've already stamped ahead of time in Old Olive ink to match the Old Olive cardstock, and I used the So Sentimental stamp set again. I just love this, and I'm excited that this is carrying forward into the new catalogue as well. I think the So Sentimental or Stitch So Sweetly dies are as well, but I'm not up to speed with absolutely everything that's carrying over yet. These are these here. They came out as coordination products during Celebration, but I'm pretty sure these are carrying forward and it was this die here that I used. I absolutely love these dies, so even if they were retiring, I wouldn't be getting rid of them. Same with the stamp set, I just love it. I love the sentiments in this, and I love the fonts as well. The ones I've used the most are the Yummylicious and the Sending Healing Hugs. I just really like it, one of my favourites. So as I say, I've stamped and die cut that ahead of time to save me shuggling the table with my big shot, and I'm just going to put a few dimensionals on the back. You can see that this is stamped on top of one that didn't stamp too well the first time round, so I turned it over and started again, because always remember, card has two sides, so if you make a mistake or it doesn't work the first time, turn it over and do it again. So I'm just going to centre that round about the middle of the packet, just making sure that these points here are kind of overlapping, as they do slightly evenly, and that's it. So I hope you liked that as well. Quick and easy project. I'm not sure which one I prefer. I think I like them both actually. I really do like this paper, but I fell in love with that when I first saw it in the annual catalogue last year as well. But I think the bright colours match my little cheeky panda with the colours on the packet. So let me know what you think as well. Tell me which one you prefer. And look out for a random act of kindness coming very soon as well, and there may be some of these going to be sent out as random acts of kindness amongst other bits and pieces, so keep an eye out for that on my Facebook page. I'm on Facebook as Corrie Papercrafts, and I'll put a post up there and then ask you to email me saying that you would like to join in with the random act of kindness, and give me your address obviously to be able to send it, and I'll post them to anywhere. It doesn't have to just be in the UK. So let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and press the little bell icon so that you get notified of all my other videos, and I hope to see you again soon, but take care till then. Bye bye.